Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Rushing with Stampin' Butterfly. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm excited to be with you. I know it's been a little bit since celebration, and we are back on schedule for once a month right now for our monthly videos. Tonight I wanted to share how to make some gift card holders. With the holidays coming up, I thought it'd be a great time to share some fun techniques to make some gift card holders, and they're easier than you think. So let me show you those real quick. So these are the two we'll be making. And you'll see that, oh, no, this guy. This is retired paper that was free during celebration. So you're welcome to substitute any paper you have. But I just love that paper so much, so I thought it'd be fun to use it again. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. So let's take a look real quick. I'm going to go ahead and pop up my host code for a minute. If you have any questions on the products I use, feel free to, or the techniques, feel free to post them and I'll try to keep up with the comments. And if you'd like to order the products, excluding the paper on this one, the patterned paper you can't get right now, but everything else is available. So if you want to place any orders, please use the website at the top and that host code. And I'm also offering an amazing deal right now through the end of October. When you place a $35 or more order, you'll receive 5, well, that's 10. There's 5 free cards in the mail from me as a thank you. I always send at least one, but this month I'm doing an extra thank you for you guys for all your support, and you'll be receiving 5 cards from me as a thank you when you use that host code and spend $35 or more. So let's take a look. Let's take a quick look at how they open. So this card is, it features our gingerbread and peppermint stamping paper, and it's a different sentiment, but the paper is all from the gingerbread and peppermint. And then you slide in your gift card here. Let me see, I think I have one. So this gift card you can put in this direction, or it's actually long enough that if you wanted to stick it this way, depending on the length of your gift card, you could also do that. Let me go ahead and turn this host code off. I will try to remember to share that at the end as well. And it'll be in the links below if you're watching the replay. Hi, Hannah. I'm so glad you can join me tonight. I hope you enjoy these cards. So this is a penguin. So it features the penguin place is the stamp set. And then the paper was free paper during celebration. So this one opens a little different. And then you've got a little to from here. You can write a message up here if you wanted. And again, you can slide your gift card in this direction. Or I believe there's enough room too. Yep, if you wanted to slide it in there. And you could also probably slide some money if you folded some bills in half. So these are the 2 cards we'll be making tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. And if you stick around till the end, I also have some additional different style gift cards to share with you. So we will take a look at those as well. Let me just get my products out for you. So the sentiment I'm using is sending you Christmas cheer, and it's actually from the Words of Cheer stamp set. So I like to mix and match. I mean, Stampin' Up is amazing, and they have product suites, but I always like to make it a little different. So I went ahead and mixed up a couple of different suites. All right, so our card base is Real Red, so we'll be using some Real Red products. And if you're ever in doubt, your paper always tells you, your Stampin' Up paper will tell you what colors are in your pack. And you can use those to decide what paper and colors you want to make your card. Okay, so I decided we'd change it up. As always, I like to make it different. So this is the card we'll be making. And I think I'm going to change this paper maybe. I don't know, we'll see. So let's put this up here so you can kind of see it. And I'll move some paper around. So I'd pre-cut a few things, but I did want to do some scoring so I could show you how easy it is to make the gift cards. They're not as scary as they seem. So I put all my stuff out. Now I got to get my scoreboard. Now you can score on your paper trimmer, but I find it easier sometimes to use my scoreboard. So we'll go ahead and use this. Now let me grab my dimensions really quick. So you'll notice this card is 4 1/4 by 11. So that's your standard card that you guys are usually used to making. And all we're going to do is add 1 extra score. So normally your halfway mark here, you would be scoring at 5 1/2, which is this one. Ooh, that's not good. Went a little awry. And then you'll be scoring at 2. I usually do it standing up. Maybe that's why. With the camera, I didn't stand up. All right, well, hopefully that doesn't drive us too crazy. So we'll see how that goes. So basically you have your standard card. So if you look at that, maybe I need to fix this a little bit because that's gonna bug me. So I'm gonna push it back. I'm gonna use my stylus. So this is how you fix your boo-boo. And then hopefully my paper will hide the rest of it. All right. So I just kind of pushed that score mark. So you're just going to take your card base, you're going to fold it in half. So this is just like the usual card that you guys make. Oh, it looks like we have a couple more people. Hi, Heather. And hi, Bob. I'm so glad you guys could join me. Okay, so now we have our standard card, and you'll see that the gift cards fit in a standard envelope. So they fit in a normal size envelope. They're not any odd size or anything. All right. Looks like it's a smidge off, so I'm going to just readjust it a little bit, and that's what's good about your bone folder. Okay, so now you probably can't see the score mark, but here's that 2-inch score mark we did. We're just going to fold it on that. And again, I think the next one, when I score it, I'm going to go ahead and stand up for that one so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so there's our card base. Now we'll do a little paper trimming actually too while we're here, because I didn't trim the paper. Wanted to give you a chance to see. So I think we'll go with this one, and I already have these cookies cut out. So the pack of paper I'm using is actually the Gingerbread and Peppermint 6x6 paper, and it has tons of patterns in here. I'm just going to pull out a chunk of them so you can kind of see. So there's cookies, there's different shapes. And then what I did is we're using a gingerbread cookie, like a frosted cookie of a Christmas tree. So lots of different shapes, patterns. It's very festive. Whether you like to make cookies or not, it's just a lot of fun. So I think we're going to go ahead and use this one. We're going to need our paper trimmer this time. And let's see, we'll go ahead and measure. I don't think I jotted down those measurements. So we'll take our ruler, give it a quick measure. So our designer paper is 3 1/4 by 4. So that's what we'll be cutting. So we'll go ahead and take our 6x6 and we'll line it up to 3 1/4 and flip it the other way to 4. So I think we'll cut all our paper while we're at it, and then we'll work on that. So that'll be our front panel right there. And then I've pre-cut the standard 5 1/4 by 4, so that's your normal insert into a card or your standard card front. So we're good there. And then we need a little piece for here and maybe some for here. So let's take a look at our paper. I think I want to use this candy. I think that'll be fun. So I think we'll stick with that. We just need to see what size it is. Let's make sure I don't lose the pieces I need. So your insert, this one is going to be 1.75 by 4 again. So let's see if this paper is 4 inches. Nope, not long enough. Okay. So we will run our 1.75 this way. We'll just line up our paper. And then we're going to need it 4 inches. So we'll go ahead there and we can double check again. Make sure that looks like the right size. So we are on target. That looks good. Put that there. And then I think it'd be fun to use this ribbony paper. So the end of this one, it almost looks like a strip of ribbon. So I think we're just going to trim that. And that will be our strip down the side. It'll be a little wider than what we started at. So let's double check. Anytime you're not sure, pull out the ruler. So that's 4 inches. So we're just going to trim this to 4. All right. That, I think, is all the cutting that we need to do. Let me move that out of the way. Now, something also that you'll see, I have these little candies on the front. What's kind of fun is if you have any kind of circle punches, like I didn't have a circle punch this big, but I have a retired one that's a 1/2 inch. So you can use that on your paper and just punch out a piece of it. So I used it on there, and then I think I did this squiggly one right here. So you can go ahead and do that too. And that gives us some fun looks. So retired products are good if you've got some of those floating around. If not, you can use your scissors, but I cut a terrible circle, so I wasn't going there. I needed some kind of punch. Let's see, let's do a little more trimming. So this is the ruffled ribbon that coordinates with this suite. So we'll go ahead and just trim a little bit of that while we're here. Just estimating. So that looks like a good amount. We'll set that aside. These are crazy pointy, so I hide them. They don't get used for other things in my household. All right, back to stamping now. So I think I die cut our sentiment holder right here. Grab a little bit of paper. So I have the grid paper right here. And we'll use some real red. We have our sentiment ready to go. So we are just going to do a little stamping. Now remember, our Stampin' Up! Ink pads are juicy, so you don't want to push too hard. And then you just want to gently ink it up. And with this photopolymer stamp, it does, like if you push too hard, the letters will spread a little bit. So you want to give it firm, even pressure, but not too hard. And then if you let it set for a second like I did, the ink has a chance to transfer. So that is that guy. I think that's all the stamping we have for this card. I mostly wanted to show you guys how to cut the cardstock because it's not too bad and you get a fun looking card. All right, so let's go ahead and start assembling because we have all our pieces now. So let's start on the front and we'll go ahead. Let me grab my silicone mat. Hopefully I'm not going to make a mess, and grab my glue. Oh, I have new glue holders. I have this super cool pink. So I think it's my new favorite color. Since October is Breast Cancer Awareness, I thought that would be a really cool color to add to my glue holders. And if you're interested in those, let me know. I'll put a link below. But they are great for keeping the glue in the tip of your glue hole. That way it's easy and ready to go. All right. So now let's just put our little insert in. Well, we'll put our strip on here first. So let's see. Do we want to run it straight to the edge or leave a little gap? Let's see how that looks. Can't decide. I think I'll run it to the edge. All right. Sticky fingers. So we'll add a little glue. Try not to squeeze too hard and then squirt too much glue out. All right, so we're just going to add that to the edge of our paper. And then we'll put this insert. And look how cool that is. It's not even ribbon, it's just the really neat pattern on the paper. And you can write a message inside your card, so it gives you enough room for that. All right. So that'll just get centered on here. And your liquid glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room, so if it didn't go on straight, you still have a little bit of time to pull it up. All right, so now we'll do some patterned paper on our little flap. Now, I didn't cut a notch in this, so you'll see there's no notch, but you could punch a little hole in there. Oh, I could do that too, that kind of matches, but we'll go with the candy. So there's so many different options with your paper. You just have to find what you like and roll with that. So gift cards are really popular, especially if you have teenagers, because they never want anything but stuff you can't wrap. So at least you can make a pretty card to put it in. All right, so there's that. Let's go ahead and we'll punch this one. So you can use like a half circle die cut. So if you have a circle, you could put this on your die cut machine and just put a half circle on there. And the other half would be on your metal plate or your other plate. But I'm just going to use this little tiny guy and I'm going to eyeball it. Can we tell the halfway point? That sounds good. I think that looks good. So that gives you a little notch for a little tiny finger. And And then we're going to go ahead and put some super strong glue down the side. So you could use tear and tape if you have that, or you could use your liquid glue. And you just want to make sure you don't go too far in, because then the gift card won't hold or won't fit in there. But that should be plenty of room for us. All right. So we just want to hold that down. And it might ooze out, so now I'm going to have a little sticky fingers, but that's okay. All right, so now where's the gift card? Here it is. So we can test it, make sure. You want to give it some time to dry, but see, it still fits in there, so that's good. You can put it in there. All right, so that's the inside of our card. Now we can go back to the front and we can put some designs on there. So we'll go ahead and pull out our dimensionals. And we'll pop the tree up. I do like to use those. So see, the other side is kind of a similar pattern, but with that cookie gingerbread looking pattern or colors. All right, so let's estimate we've got enough room. Tree's a little off center so that your sentiment fits. And then we're gonna go ahead and use a glue dot. Just fold our ribbon in half. This is great, you don't even have to tie a knot. Hi, Sherry. I'm glad you are here too. Thank you for joining me. Let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, so we're just gonna kind of pop that underneath here. And it's just attached to the tag, and then we'll put some more dimensionals on this. So we'll overlap the ribbon a little bit to give it an extra hold. And then some more dimensionals there. You could even add some here too if you wanted to make it really stick up. Let's go with that. So you know we've got some really good puffy coverage. All right, so we will put that here. And then I think we'll use the mini dimensionals. So these work well when you have smaller items. So I'm going to use those on the little candies. And then you can also use the outside, so don't throw it away. You can trim your edges. Of course, you can't really see that, the white on white. There you go. But you can trim those edges. So let's see, we'll put that one here. This one up top. And I ordered the red rhinestones that are in the catalog. I think they've been in there for a year or two, and I've never tried them. So they actually just came tonight, and it's kind of cool. They're much prettier than I thought. They have extra shine to them. So I think we're going to go ahead and add those to this card. And what I was going to do is color some regular rhinestones, so I'll show you how to do that as well. But I think we're going to use the new ones for this card. And I need my pokey tool. So you'll see these are a little bit smaller than the regular rhinestones, but they have a really pretty shine to them. They're very red. So I just use the pokey tool, and you want to make sure you go underneath the rhinestone and you pick up the actual sticky glue underneath it. So you don't want to miss that. I think we'll put them on the tree maybe. Put them on the line. I'm going to scoot that one down a little bit. I don't like it in the white spot. I think I want it on the tree. And you can add as many as you want. Usually groups of 3 are good. That is the general rule. So odd numbers as you're adding them. Could have put them here. There's lots of different options. All right, so there's our first gift card holder. All right, I want to show you real quick before we move on to the next card. So if you didn't have your red rhinestones and you had just the plain ones, you can use your dark red alcohol marker, or you could use really any color depending on what you're trying to match. And I'm just going to use the brush tip, and you gently just go over it. And that's really light right now, but if you give it a second, you can put a second or a third coat on there. And then once it dries, see if you guys can see that. See, now it's red. So it gives you red rhinestones. So your clear silvery ones can be any color you want. You just color them with your alcohol markers. Wow, my dimensional backs are everywhere today. I'm going to scoot those up here. Okay, so there's card number 1. And as you can see, it does fit in your envelope. So it's your normal size card. They will both fit in there. You'll have to tell me, so which one do you like better? Do you like the one with the ribbon on it or the little candy? I always like making different cards, gives a little variation sometimes. All right, so I'm going to regroup a little bit and switch gears. So we'll get our next card out. So just give me a minute to move everything red, because now we're moving on to purple. Purple is always a fun color. It's not as traditional Christmas colors, but it's also great if you have a season's greetings card you want to do for somebody that may celebrate a different holiday. So let's take a look at our card again. So it's using a piece of cardstock, and then you have your white that flips up, and then you can tuck it under here. So I put just a dimensional at the bottom so you could kind of tuck it under and it holds it down for you. Now I'm sorry, like the light is crazy bright tonight, so it's hard to see, but there's a little polar bear guy over here. But the white is super bright. Okay, so I think we need to do some scoring for this card also. Move some more things out of the way. And get the card pieces. So this one has a different size for the white. And then we'll do a little die cutting for this one too. So just cut him out of the paper. And we are using the fresh freesia. And let's show you real quick. So this is the stamp set, and we're using the season's greeting from this. Now, if you don't have this paper, you could always change it up for anything you wanted, and you could stamp and punch out the penguin. And he's really cute too on his own, so you could do that. All right, let's move some of those guys out of the way. And let's see what our cardstock is. So your white piece is going to be 7 3/4 by 5. So that is the piece of white that we're using. And then the piece that we're going to mount that onto is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, which is our standard card base size. All right, so this time I'm going to stand up and hopefully I can score it straight when I'm looking straight down at it. And this one's only going to have 2 score lines as well. So we're going to score it at 6 and 2 1/4 on the long side. All right. And then we're just going to fold on the score lines and crease them with our bone folder. So, fans of the ribbon. All right. Definitely the ribbon. All right, cool. See, that's why I like to change it up. It gives you different options. But that paper is so much fun in there, and there's so many different patterns. You could go to town. I've made so many cards with it. Okay, so your smaller flap is going to be on the bottom, and your larger one's on top. Okay, we need to do a little die cutting, so I'm going to scoot this stuff out of the way. Let me just give you some measurements. So this top flap here, the designer paper is 4 3/4 by 2. And then the bottom piece is going to be 4 3/4 by 1 1/2. So, yep, that looks about right. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and die cut these circles so that we'll have something to stamp our sentiment on. And they are from the Tasteful Labels die set. Like I said earlier, I love these. You'll see me use these quite a bit on my cards. So those are the 2 shapes we'll be using. And we'll get the mini machine out to do our die cutting. Since it fits so cute in the screen, I like the little mini guy. So we're going to make our sandwich. You're going to have plate number 1, and they give you the directions. Plate number 2, your cardstock, and then plate number 2 again. All right, so we'll just do them one at a time since it's a small little guy. But you could technically cut smaller paper and run them both through at the same time. All right, so that's for our sentiment. And then this is to give it a little color and background to make it pop more. Again, you're going to make your sandwich. And you'll find sometimes with this smaller machine, it's a little bit easier if you stagger your plates slightly when you're running them through. Because it's so tiny, it doesn't have the weight of the big machine. So you have to give it a little help. All right. Close them up. And we can finish up our card. And you'll see it does really cool stitching even on here, so you could trim that and make it a background as well and use that on another card. Or you could put patterned paper behind it. That would be cute too. All right, I don't think I ever throw out my scraps. There's lots of stuff floating around. Okay, so let's do a little stamping. We are using the coordinating ink, so it's the Fresh Freesia. This is our new in color, one of our new in colors this year. And since it's in purple, I thought it'd be a good one to put season's greetings. So like I said, if you have friends that don't celebrate Christmas, you're covered on this one because it gives you a little bit different options. Oh, we need to do a little more stamping on the inside too. So make sure you have it going the right direction. So we will have the smaller piece on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. And the to and from is actually from the Sweet Little Stocking stamp set with the cats and dogs. So that's where I got these sentiments from. And then you'll just stamp them on there. Okay, so now we just need to do some assembling. Not too bad. So gift cards aren't too bad. They just they look intimidating because there's so many folds on them. All right, we'll try our silicone mat again. And let's see, we'll do our gluing of some paper. The paper is really cute on this side too. It has all the little animal faces. So put our dots up here. And you can use any paper. I mean, you could do this for birthday cards. It's lots of great options. All right, there's that one. Put some glue on here. How do you open the ink without getting your thumb in the ink? Day by day. Sometimes I do. Heck, the other day I had a glue dot in my hair. I don't even know how that happened. I lost it, and then when I went downstairs, I found it sticking in my hair. It was like having bubble gum when my sister was little, and she'd get bubble gum in my hair. So, let me see. Okay, so when you open the new ink pad, so we have two different styles. These are the new ones, so let me show you real quick. Think of it like a makeup compact. So if you hold it in the palm of your hand, and you just keep your thumb here, like I use kind of this edge of my thumb, and you kind of squeeze the sides a little bit and you lift up and then flip it over, but make sure you pull your thumb out, otherwise it goes right in. And then when you're closing it, to open it, you slide it down and you can lock it in. And then pulling it, you don't want to stick your thumb in there either, so you kind of have to grab the little edge, pull it to the end, and then flip it over. And make sure it's lined up good, because if you're off, it may not close all the way and seal. Oh, sorry, Heather. Yes, I did get bubble gum in my hair. Okay, so back to card making. So we have our card. Again, just like the other one, we're going to put a little bit of glue or tear and tape on the edge. So we have a place. And this time I'm not going to cut the little notch out. I think that hole punch is a little too small. Could technically use this circle, probably. That's a good size. You could use that to die cut it. But we're just going to skip it. Plus, the way it overlaps on this card, I don't know if that circle would show. So you're probably better off not doing the notch on this style card. All right, so let's put the little guys on here. Dimensionals, where did I put you? There you are. Okay. So you'll see when I cut this one out, poor Mr. Penguin, he has no hat on in this one, but this card he does because his hat got chopped off. But he still has a little pokey hair, so he's cute. He's just not wearing his hat on this card. So we'll put him at an angle. So he's coming down the side of the hill. And then we'll go ahead and glue these two together. And then you could layer it more dimensionals, but you don't want to make it too lumpy for mailing. So I try not to put too many dimensionals on top of each other. So that's why we'll glue this one flat. And then pop the bottom of it up with the dimensional. As you can see, I have glue on my fingers, so things are sticking. All right, so we'll put that here. And probably shouldn't work on that just in case. All right, so you want to have it near the bottom and partly covering the top. You don't want to go up too far because then you might not be able to pull the flap out. So, oh, we got to put it on the card base. Look, one more step. Almost there. So, now we're going to mount this to give it more stability and to make it a little bit bigger. We're going to put it on the card base. And again, these fit in the normal envelopes as well. So it's the standard size card that you would normally have. All right, I think that looks even. Push it down. One sticky spot. Well, I have a little rubber eraser you can take glue off with. So those are awesome. Okay, so there's your little penguin card that you can put a gift card in. So it gives you two different styles of gift cards that you can make. Try not to bend his little foot. All right, so let me clear up some stuff. I have a couple more cards I wanted to share with you that I've made. They are gift card holders as well, but they're a little bit different style. So, and then I also want to share one of the cards in my upcoming card class to go, and also share a sneak peek of the paper pumpkin for next month. They did show us that, so I want to show you the flyer for that. Okay, so this is one of the gift card holders you can make, and this uses more designer paper. So when you unfold this, there's a little sentiment in here, and then I just slid the card in, so if you wanted to write a longer message, you could slide it in and then put your gift card in here. So, Old Time Pottery. You could put your gift card in like that. So that's one style. And then there's another one where it uses the, it's that same Sweet Little Stockings paper. This one I didn't cut it for a gift card, so but you could totally put a gift card in any card you want. It just won't have a particular slot. So that one's just kind of a little pop-up of Grumpy Cat. And then this one with the Grumpy Cat on the front, I went ahead and I cut a space in here and didn't glue the whole panel. So you could slide your gift card in like that and then have it sticking out. So you know, there's different patterns too, so it'd be kind of cool if you can match your card to your card paper to your gift card. I always like to do that. So there's some additional ways you can make gift card holders. And then, so I do have an upcoming class that I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching the gift card portion, and I hope you enjoyed those. But I wanted to share my upcoming class is Whimsy and Wonder. And there's a couple fun folds in there. The paper is, some of it's more traditional colors and some of it's non-traditional Christmas, but I love this stamp set and the dies along with it. So this is one of the cards we'll be making in the class, and it's a fun fold. So I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek since you stuck around and let you know. So the RSVP for this is due by October 26th. So that's next week. I'll put a link to the details of the class, as well as within that detail there is a link to RSVP in there. So if you're interested in that class, there's a couple of different options depending on if you just want the kit or if you don't have the stamps and dies and you want to order that as well. So I will put that out there. And then the upcoming paper pumpkin. So if you are familiar with our monthly subscriptions, we have a paper pumpkin kit that comes out each month, and it's usually a surprise, but lately they've been doing sneak peeks. So you have to subscribe by the 10th to receive the kit. So this is the information for the November 10th kit. And I can add the link as well in the description for this. But it is going to be super cute. So there's 3 different designs and they will be food safe. So it looks like one is going to be a little pumpkin, and it looks like there's a cello bag. You could put candy, popcorn, all kinds of stuff in there. So they are little treat containers, and I think you get 9 total. So 3 of each, different designs. And if you're interested in signing up, make sure you do it early because I have a feeling this one may well sell out. They are pretty popular. And it's always fun to be able to give, you know, little treat gifts to people. So I think that's all I had to share with you guys tonight. Let me flip the camera back. So I just wanted to thank you so much for spending the evening with me and stamping. I hope you enjoyed the gift card holders, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you'd like to place an order, let me share. Let's see if the host code, perfect, it is on here. Then you should be able to see it here. Thank you so much. Have a great night.